Hey, I'm Kalash, and I make cool stuff. Today I'm using a wood plaque as my base and adding some foil on top to help shape the fish. This was actually one of the first things I wanted to make when I first started sculpting, so finally I'm bringing it to life. I'm adding Sculpey bacon bond over the foil and wood to help the clay stick to it. Then adding polymer clay to make the base shape. By the way, I'm thinking about making a more diorama style project next, but I'm so used to sculpting that I'm a little scared to start it. I'm not even sure what materials to use, we will see how it goes. I added a bit more clay for the lips to fit into today's beauty standards. I'm using translucent clay for the eyeball. This gets baked and then added to the fish. And then a bit more clay to shape the eye. I added some strips of clay and then smoothed them into the rest of the body to give it this layered look. I wanted the tail fin to look like bone, so I'm adding strips and then splitting them into sections. And then cleaning up the shape. Then using my clay tool to add texture. Then I'm adding the little light that they have. It would be cool to have an LED in it, but I'm not great at working with them, so not this time. Using a clay scraper, I will lightly go over everything to give the body some texture. My computer has been having some issues lately, so there is a bit of missing footage here. I made a little side fin and also pre-baked the teeth. I'm taking them out though to make painting easier. It's just nice to put them in to mark where they will go later. Before baking, I'm going over it with isopropyl alcohol. Now that it has been baked, I can start painting. The wood is painted blue because it's supposed to be water. The fish itself is painted brown. I lost some footage here as well, but I'm painting the fins red and then adding some lighter highlights. Usually when I paint something, I do a base color and then highlights and shadows. For this one, I wanted to try something different, so I'm just experimenting and adding different tones and colors. I wasn't sure about it at first, but the more I added, the more I liked it. It can be scary to think you will ruin your work, but you can always just paint over it again if you do. You can do a lot of cool stuff with translucent clay. I'm going over it with diluted red to make the fish look blind. Later, I also added UV resin over it to make it glossy. I painted the teeth yellow and glued them in with super glue. I should have done it even later though, because they still get in the way of the water effects. Then I stained them with yellow and brown. Since it is a fish in water, I glossed the whole thing. For the waves, I'm using translucent silicone. And yes, I know that it's white. I was a little concerned at first myself, but it does dry translucent. I poked at it with a stick to shape it into waves. I originally wanted to use a texture gel for this, but the gel was not holding shape. I guess it's just so hot in my apartment that it has melted or something. But luckily, I had silicone lying around. The only downside is that it took a really long time to dry, so I couldn't finish this video before my vacation. Then I went over the waves with white paint. Lastly, to get it shiny again, I went over it with gloss Mod Podge. And that's it. Thank you to my patrons, and thanks for watching. As always, all the links are in the description below, and I'll see you next time. Bye!